But in addition to just how we engage with someone, the other thing that's really important is that we take into account that what we're working on is behavior change.
Right.
And behavior change is not easy. It's very, very difficult. And there are so many variables that come into play when we as individuals are trying to change our behavior. So the methodologies that we use for behavior change are really important and very thoughtful, and we're really serious about how we approach this and very consistent with how we approach the behavior change process. So we really look at three aspects of behavior change. We look at the why for behavior change, we look at the what for behavior change, and we also put a little nudge in there as a part of how we approach this. So when we talk about the why, we're really talking about motivational interviewing and the individual's own personal motivation and why they want to change. And so we filter that process throughout our entire care management, as you know, all of our interventions, whether it's someone talking to you on the phone or one of our on-site coaches working with someone, whether it is a digital tool that we have, whether it's a piece of mail that you get, all of the language, all of the visuals, all of the tone that we use is all really geared at the aspect of motivational interviewing and helping someone find their motivation. The second aspect that we look at from behavior change is really the what. So we look at cognitive learning, and we throughout all of our programs really try to understand where the individual is and helping them build self-efficacy, which is one of the foundational aspects of cognitive learning. So self-efficacy is important. A lot of times we hear this in common day language with terms of small steps, which is certainly one aspect of it and an important aspect, but there are other aspects. As adults, we really need to feel confident and build up our skills. As we mentioned with Adrian before, the coach really worked with him to help him figure out things that he could do, that he could feel comfortable doing. That's a big piece of behavior change. And then the third part that I mentioned is really the nudge, and that's really the behavioral economics. So when you think about what can we do to incent someone? So we certainly look at incentives, we look at rewards, we look at consequences. We also look at, in our digital tools, gamification and ways that we can make it more interesting and bringing the behavioral economics into it. So behavior change is, it's really critical, and we believe that focusing on these three areas and making sure that we're consistent across all of our modalities is really important to the success of the program and making it work for the individual.
So it's consistent, but we also recognize that one size doesn't really fit all.
That's exactly right.